Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Jake with Nerds Know Best, and I wanted to talk about Mad Max Fury Road some more, so I'm going to do a spoiler review. Now, while there's not much to spoil, I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about the movie. Now, if you haven't actually seen the movie yet, you should do that before you watch this review, because this review will kind of give away some stuff. Now, let's start off with the civilization that they have now. This is like a civilization where people are poor, obviously, because it's post-apocalyptic, and this guy, Immortan Joe, the villain of the movie, he gives them water sometimes, and they basically view this guy as a god, and he promises all of his soldiers the key to Valhalla if they do something worthy, and they paint their mouth chrome. It's really cool, actually, and I really think that that was an interesting way to tell the story. It's pretty interesting to see that, because it was really cool, because it showed how broken society was. And then we have Max getting captured right in the beginning, and that was where it really this is movies that like this I love, where they just throw you right into the middle of the action, and you're like, oh, what are we doing here? Like, because it starts off with Max with the long hair, and he's just standing there, and then he crushes this bug, and then he eats it, and then he gets in his car and drives away, and then he gets followed by all these guys. You see it in the Comic-Con trailer, and this is like the really cool part of the trailer, and it looks beautiful. It just looks great. I love the way this movie looks. It's so fantastic. And then they go, and then he gets captured, and they cut off all his hair, and I really did like the whole weird aspect of Immortan Joe keeping women and just making them like produce like breast milk and having children so they can all have like sons. And then there's that one weird guy in the chair that's like disfigured, and I think that was one of his sons that went wrong or something. And that guy was really weird. I was like, whoa, what happened to you, man? But I did also like the whole look at the female like we are not things. I loved all that. That was all really well done. And then you get Nicholas Holt's character with his friend Slit, and his name's Nux, and this guy's crazy, but I loved the whole look from his character. I love the whole look of, because I forgot it was Nicholas Hoult halfway through the movie. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that guy in Mad Max Fury Road. That's the character. I thought of him as the character, and that works really well. Um, I loved that he, whenever Immortan Joe just like glanced at him, and then he was like, oh, he looked at me. I'm going to Valhalla. I'm so excited, and it was really it showed how crazy these guys are. But I loved the depth of the character. He's like, I live, I die, I live again, and then at the end of the movie, he ultimately dies, and it's crazy. And I also really did like Tom Hardy as Max. He didn't say much, but he was effective, and I think, although I do think Charlize Theron kind of stole the movie right from under him, and she's just like, whoop, this is my movie now. And her character is just, rightfully so, she stole this movie. She's fantastic in this movie. Furiosa is one of the coolest characters, coolest female action heroes of this decade, I think, and she will definitely be remembered when we're talking about this 20 years from now, because it's going to be, like Linda Hamilton, Sigourney Weaver, and Charlize Theron in Mad Max Fury Road, because she is that good. I'm not even joking, guys. She's really, there's a couple scenes that I couldn't talk about in my review, because it just shows how much like better she is than Max. It's great, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but they're both like equivalent to each other, and it's great. I really hope they don't get romantically involved, because then it'll be like the cliche, like, oh my god. You got Furiosa with her awesome arm, and she's going, and okay, one moment that I want to talk about. She has like Mad Max is about to shoot the shotgun, and it's like at the night scene, and people are complaining about the blue filters. Shut up, because it was cool, and they used the blue filter, to display nighttime, and that looked great. So don't complain about all the blue Instagram filter, because it was done to display the night scenes, and it looked great. So you can't even deny that it looked great. They went from the daytime with the gorgeous orange look, and then they went to nighttime with the gorgeous blue look. So just stop complaining about the filters, because that's one in a couple reviews that I saw, and it actually angered me, because it looked great. And would you rather just see the same thing all the time with the bleak gray Man of Steel look, where it just looks dark and grimy? I don't want to see that all the time. I want to see a bright, colorful movie, and that's what we got here. I love that. So just don't. That's my little rant. I just don't like when people complain about stuff that's awesome, and they don't see that it's awesome, because they're too ignorant and blinded by this generation that they can't enjoy a good, colorful movie because they liked Man of Steel or Dark Knight, where it's all just bleak and dark and grim. Those movies look great, but they're dark looking. And when you apply color to Man of Steel like they did, it looked great. So that's just, I can go on all day about that, but just don't complain about the blue filter. It looks great in this movie. To display night, I love the way that looked. and then she's using the Max is using the sniper rifle, and then Charlie Theron's like, okay, I got it. And then because she had one bullet left, and then she shot the little flare, and she blinded the guy, and then the guy's like blind now, and he's like, oh, hold the flare closer to my face. She's like, it's right next to your eyes. He's like, damn, I'm blind. It's like, it was great, and that was one moment where I thought she was Max's equal, and then there was another moment where she gets stabbed, and she's holding Max on the side of the car, and I'm like, holy crap, she's a badass. It was great, and I think she should really be, she'll be, not a role model, but like an action hero that girls can try to look up to and be like, oh my god, I want to be like Furiosa, because she's really cool, and I love that she's I love that she's missing an arm. I love that she's like, has a shaved head and she does the black thing on it. I don't know why she does the black thing, but it looks cool, so I'm not going to complain about it. And also, who else can I talk about? The wives were really cool. I thought they didn't act that great, but they were all just one band, so I count them as one actor, like just all together as a unit. I thought the one that got kind of romantically involved with Nux was pretty good. Her and the Transformers girl and Zoe Kravitz were the only ones that I got to shine, I think. Those three, and then the other two were just kind of there. I was like, I don't know who you guys are, and you guys are very expendable. I don't really care. I'm actually surprised that all of them made it out alive. Except, well, I don't think the Transformers 3 girl did, because she might have... didn't she? She never shows up again, but that one guy that cut the baby out said she's still breathing. So I don't know if she's alive or dead or what, because... And what about that baby scene? That was disturbing. The action, just as a whole thing, is incredible. Oh my god, I loved the action in this movie. It's so good. And it's just some of the best action I've ever seen. And I really just can't wait to buy the DVD and just rewind the action, or even go back to the theater and watch it again and just watch the action, because that's what you come to this movie for. You see the trailer and you're like, that action looks incredible, and everything in the trailer looks great, and it is great, and it's amazing. I love that, because I got a text during the movie, and I'm like, I wonder who that's from. I want to check my phone, and it was like right at the beginning of the movie. I didn't check it until after the movie, because it was just from beat to beat. It was just like every 20 minutes, action scene, or it was like build up, action scene, build up, action scene, build up, action scene. And during those build up moments, you got interesting character development, and you get to see the beliefs of these characters, and you get to see where the plot's going. And now, while people can complain that there's not much of a plot, I understand that, but there kind of is, because it's all about the wives and everything, and going to the green place, and there's a lot of like symbolism, and it's a unique artistic movie. And if you don't realize that, and you're just gonna critique the movie, because you're not gonna complain about plot when the last half of Avengers 2 is the exact same thing as like 95% of movies that we have today. Think about that. I'm not trying to hate on Avengers either. I'm just saying. I like both movies a lot, by the way. So just before you comment, I really do like both movies a lot. I just like Mad Max more because it's new, and it's unique, and it's interesting, and it's something that a lot of filmmakers should be doing today, in my honest opinion. Because George Miller, literally, what he did was he just took this movie, went into the desert with $180 million, made sure and I'm paraphrasing what somebody else said, and studio execs couldn't find him, and then they just said, boom, we're making this freaking movie with Tom Hardy and Charlie Theron and Nicholas Hoult, and we're going to do it my way, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to have a guy playing electric guitar, which was awesome, and it's going to be ridiculous and nuts and insane, and it's going to be freaking great, and you guys can deal with it. And it works entirely, because you don't have people breathing down George Miller's neck like you do with some people. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Joss Whedon and Marvel. You can tell the difference when studios breathe down their necks and when they don't. And I think this is the perfect example when they don't. Because this movie is just takes so many bold and unique choices. It's rated R, and it's a big, huge summer blockbuster. And it made money. It made $44 million this weekend. I loved that they did that. It's much like Kingsman 2, where it's a weird, bizarre concept, but it makes a lot of money and it's widely successful and well reviewed, and it's just a good movie. So that's it. I love this movie. I also like the whole green place. I keep going off on tangents. I'm sorry. It's just that's what gets me going here because people bother me when they say I don't like this movie. The green place, everything there, it was good. I did not. This is where I'll give some people their negatives because I didn't really think that the whole elders thing was necessary. Although I understood why it was there and I understood the whole meaning of them, I just didn't think it was very necessary, and it was just an extra 30 minutes that we didn't really need. I mean, I don't want the movie to be an hour and a half long because I did have fun for the full 2 hours, but it would have been a much tighter, I don't want to say better, but much tighter movie, and it would have felt like a more effective ride if it had been cut out with the elders. But I understand why they're there, and I didn't hate them as much as I hated some other things in other movies, but like I really did like the whole elders, everything, because I understand why it's there. I just don't think it was very necessary. That's all. But I did like them. So yeah. But I understand why people can have that as a negative in their review. All right, I think I'm pretty much done now. And the whole Immortan Joe death is freaking amazing. Charlize Theron rips the freaking mask off of his face. Everything just spills out and dies, and it's fantastic. And then they bring him to his little civilization, throw his body on the ground, and they're like, boom. Boom. I loved that part because it just showed them, they just walk up to the civilization, they're like, we killed your god. How are you going to accept that? And then they do. They accept it because none of them really liked him because they were just, and then Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron let the water just run, and then I think Charlize Theron is going to end up being the new goddess of this civilization. I hope that could be an interesting step for the sequel. And then it ends with the little elevator going up and Tom Hardy leaving, and it's just boom, Mad Max Fury Road. I'm really excited to see a sequel, and I did see George Miller did say that he could have made this script that he had a 2-movie type of story, and he did actually. I think he has a script ready for a next one called Mad Max Furiosa. I don't know if maybe I read that incorrectly, but that's what I saw, and Tom Hardy is signed on for 3 more, so hopefully we'll be getting some more Mad Max movies. I'm really excited. What did you guys think of Mad Max Fury Road? Be sure to comment down below and let me know. You guys can talk spoilers as much as you want. And be sure to check out Best Productions because I put out another Spethel Age of Termination trailer, and I think you guys could really enjoy it. And that video should be out soon. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.